Namaste. Welcome to Gentle Yoga. My name is Shelley. We're going to focus a lot on the hips today. Hips are a common area of held tension, held stress. So we'll do some nice stretches to kind of relieve some of that stuck tension and stress. We will start in a comfortable seat. Lengthen the spine. And just take a few rounds of breath. Let the breath be natural. As you take these rounds of breath, let go of anything that's come before you arrive to your mat, as well as anything to come after. Allow yourself to be present in the here and now, just following the breath, the inhales and the exhales. If it makes sense for you here, begin to lengthen and deepen the breath. Take a few rounds, letting each breath get just a beat longer than the previous. There's no need to strain, just so long as the breath remains comfortable. When you found a nice, deep, comfortable breath, let this be your breath for practice today. Anytime your mind kind of goes off to some other place, bring it back here to this breath, and I'll remind you throughout practice as well. I'm going to start with just a few warm-ups for the joints, and then we'll get more into the hips specifically. So to begin, just nod the head a few times, nice and slow, lifting the chin and tucking the chin. Return the chin to neutral, and as if you were shaking your head no, very slowly, turn your chin from shoulder to shoulder. Feel length in the sides of the neck. Returning the head to neutral. Lower your right ear down towards your right shoulder. Bring the right hand across and very gently let the hand rest around the left temple. Not actively pressing down, just letting the weight of the hand apply a gentle downward pressure. Breathe along the left side of the neck and into the shoulder. Come up and switch sides. Left ear to the left shoulder. You can gently place the left hand over the right temple. Just encouraging a little more length through here, the right side of the neck and that shoulder. Release back to center. Squeeze the shoulders up by the ears and then circle the shoulders onto the back. Drop them down and round them forward. So shoulder circles, but be sure to hit those 4 points each time. Shoulders, as I'm sure you know, are another common place for holding tension in the body. These circles are a nice way to kind of begin to break up some of that held stuff. And then relax the shoulders. Bring the hands out in front and just make a fist and then make jazz hands. Back and forth a few times. So, stretching the palms, stretching the fingers. Right, relax that and circle at the wrists. Go the other way. And then relax the hands onto the knees. If you need to switch the legs, you can go ahead and switch. And we'll take just a few rounds of the hip circles. So beginning to warm into the hips and the side bodies. You can go either direction to start. Explore the speed and the size of your circles. You have some freedom there. Pause for a moment at the center and go the other way. Again, playing with the size and the speed. Coming back up to neutral. Come onto your back. Taking a full body stretch, legs together. Interlace the fingers into Kali Mudra. Index fingers remain extended. Straighten the arms. And then reach overhead and big inhale. Actively stretch from your fingertips to your toes. On your exhale, stay here, but relax everything. And then with your next inhale, again, active stretch. Grip with the palms and pull with the arms. Imagine you're being pulled in opposite directions from opposite ends. So you're getting nice and long. And then exhale, relax once again. We'll do one more round. On your inhale, stretch, deepest of the 3. Exhale, releasing the arms down. Hug your right knee into your chest. You can hold behind the thigh or take the shin, whichever feels more comfortable here. Just rock the leg a little bit side to side. And we'll do a few circles with this hip. So remember, the circle itself is coming from the hip, but you may feel like you're drawing circles on the ceiling with your kneecap. And then change the direction. Drawing those circles. Steady the leg back into the chest, maybe a little tighter now if you can. And then we'll rotate the ankle a few times. Nice big circles. Get your full range of motion. And then go the other way. Relax the ankle. Plant the foot to the mat. Open your knee out to the side so the sole of the right foot comes somewhere inside of the left leg. If you were standing up, you'd be in tree pose. You can let the arms rest comfortably by your sides. And just let everything relax. Turn your attention to your nice, full, deep breaths. You can imagine here that you have a sandbag, maybe 5-10 pound sandbag on the right thigh, just encouraging a gentle downward pressure, helping the knee get closer to the floor, helping the inner groin release. Now bring the knee back up towards the ceiling. Use the left hand outside of the right knee to take the leg across the body, coming to a twist. The right seat will lift. You may look up or towards the right shoulder. You don't need to go to your limit here. You could keep this more on the gentle side. We'll do another twist or two throughout practice, so you can think of this one more as a warm-up. Coming back through center, squeeze the knee in to the chest, a little tighter if you can. Option from here to round the back and bring the nose in towards the knee. If that doesn't feel great on your neck for any reason, keep the head down so it's supported. Compressing right side of the abdomen. And then return the head down. Stretch the leg up towards the ceiling, point to toe. Try to touch the ceiling with the toes so the leg is long as possible. Keep the length, keep reaching out through the leg as you slowly lower, slowly, slowly, and relax. That leg may feel a little longer than the other one now. That's okay. We're going to do the other side next. Bring the left knee into the chest. Again, you can hold the thigh or the shin. And just rock the leg to start. Gently back and forth. And we'll take a few circles with this hip. You can circle either direction because we'll end up doing both. The movement coming from the hip, but imagining you're drawing circles on the ceiling with the kneecap. It's an important distinction because the hips like to circle, but the knees do not. Go the other way. leg into the chest, perhaps a little tighter now. And then we'll take a few ankle circles, rotating the ankle, getting your full range of motion. Going nice and slow. When you slow things down, you're often more able to be present and to be really mindful with the movement. And then go the other way. Relaxing the ankle, place the foot to the floor and open the knee out to the side. Sole of the left foot somewhere inside of the right leg. And you can place your imaginary sandbag on the left thigh, gently encouraging the leg to open down. Knee perhaps getting a little closer to the floor. Pointing the knee back up to the ceiling. Bring the right hand across to the outside of that knee and come into your gentle twist. Just encouraging the leg across. The left hip will lift, but do your best to keep both shoulders down to the floor. You may look straight up or towards that left shoulder. Coming back to center, squeeze the knee in nice and tight. Option to round forward and bring the nose in towards the knee. Compressing on the left side now, the rib cage, the abdomen. Release the head. Extend the leg long, pointing the toe to the ceiling. Try to touch the ceiling. So you're extending out through the leg. Keep extending as you slowly lower the leg down. Slow. Slower. Slow. Almost. And rest. Bend the knees, walking the feet in towards the seat, but then walk the feet out so they're to the edges of the mat. The feet are wider for this. We're going to do what is traditionally known as the windshield wiper. That's a yoga joke. All right, knees go to the left, and then to the center, and to the right. Just keep going on your own now, back and forth a few times. You can see why it's called the windshield wiper. Knees just swishing from side to side. time the knees go to the left, stay there. The knees may touch the floor, they may not. One knee might touch, the other may not. It's perfect wherever you are at. You're getting the stretch that you need. What's nice about this stretch, the top leg is getting into the IT band, which is the tightly connected connective tissue, tightly woven along the outside of the hip and upper thigh. It's not the easiest place to stretch, but this is one way to get to it. Bring it all up through the center and go to the other side, knees lower to the right. It's not uncommon for one IT band to the right side or the left side to be tighter than the other side. Just send your breath there. Nice healing inhales. And exhales, letting go of everything you no longer need. Fatigue, tension, tightness, resistance. Let it leave the body with the breath. Come up to the center. Straighten out the spine, just in case the spine shifted a little to the left or to the right. Be sure it's nice and straight once again. And then feet hips width apart, heels in towards the seat for some rolling bridge. Turn the palms down to the floor. Press into the hands and feet. Inhale, roll up the spine. At the end of your inhale, at the top, your highest point, exhale and roll back down. So in other words, use your full breath, your full inhale to take you up, and your full exhale to roll you down. Keep going on your own. If ever your breath and your movements don't quite match up, let your movements be what adjusts. This next one, when you roll up, hold it at the top for just a breath or two. And then returning the back to the floor, one vertebrae at a time. Hug the knees to the chest. You can rock a few times side to side. And then steady yourself. Right hand on the right knee, left hand on the left knee. Circle the legs away from one another. Get a nice fluid movement for the hips, but it's also a nice little low back massage. Circle around the other way. And then squeeze the knees to the chest.
to the floor. Again, walk the feet out so they're a little wider. Dip your knees into center so they come together. Palms down beside you. And then press the low back into the mat. Do that by tilting the pelvis. I would call it up here. You can relax. And we'll do it one more time. Press the low back down to the floor. It's a nice neutralizing pose for the spine after the bridge. And then relax. Walk the feet together now, coming to Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet pressed together and the knees butterflied out. So we did basically the half variation of this pose already. Taking now the full. Arms can rest beside you, or you can rest one hand to the heart, one hand to the abdomen, feeling the breath. And place again your imaginary sandbags onto the inner thighs. Just finding that gentle downward pressure. Practicing this pose on your own, you may stay as long as you are comfortable. The longer you stay and breathe, the more things begin to slowly release and to open up. You likely will notice, after staying for a good while, the knees coming a little closer to the floor. Take the hands to the outer thighs, guide the knees together. And we'll come to a happy baby pose. Bring the knees towards the shoulders. Soles of the feet point to the ceiling. Hold wherever works for you. It can be the outside of the feet, ankles, calves, or the thighs. But you want the knees wide. And then rock, massaging the back. Can experiment a little with your happy baby, maybe extending the leg long on the side that you're rocking towards, and switch. Back to the center. So whatever you have a hold of, press down with the hands and then press up with the legs, with the feet. And then relax. Knees into the chest. Roll towards one side. Rest your head on your bottom arm. Take a breath right here. And then roll onto hands and knees. Tabletop shape. Shoulders over the wrists and hips over the knees. We'll take a few rounds of some cow and cat stretch, beginning with a cow. Inhale, lift the head and tail, lower the belly down. Exhale for cat, round the back and pull the belly up. Go on your own now, back and forth, using your breath as your guide. Take your cat stretch with your rounded back. Just make your way back into tabletop, neutral spine. And we'll come into a downward facing dog. Press into the palms, tuck the toes, lift the seat up high. Gently press the hands down and forward to help send the chest back. And then take any organic movement. You can walk out your dog, or shake out the head. Anything that feels good, natural in your body here. And then lower down, hands and knees, and come to child's pose. Big toes together, knees wide, seat back to the heels, forehead down, arms reaching forward. Come up to hands and knees once again. Step your right foot forward. You can grab hold of the calf with the hand and help place it between the hands. And then you might need to wiggle the back leg back so it's nice and long. Sink the hips, lift the chest, look straight ahead. Depending on the floor you're practicing on, if this is uncomfortable for the back knee, you can fold the mat over so it's extra thick, or use a blanket or a towel, something nice and soft under that knee. Now walk the hands just above the right knee. Stack the hands, press down and roll the shoulders onto the back. Move the hips forward and down, your seat sinking towards the front heel. The best way to stretch out the hip flexors, front of the hip, is with a lunge. So we're gonna do a couple or 3 variations of lunges here. And it's important to stretch the hip flexors because they contract when we sit. And they often get overly tight because our ratio of sitting to lunging, the sitting is much higher. Like 90-10, if that. 95-5. And then lower the hands to the inside of the right foot and inch the right foot to the right. So you can align your hands under your shoulders. So another view of this one.
is here. This is the lizard pose. Press into your right big toe to help squeeze the knee into the shoulder. So avoid it being out here as much as you can. Squeeze it in. Draw the heart forward through the arms. Think of cobra pose or upward facing dog. And then look ahead, not straight ahead, but a few inches forward. So the neck is nice and long on all the sides. If this is too much, you can place something under the hands, anything that you have to give you a little more height. Work towards squaring off the hips. Let the right hip move back a little more and the left hip coming forward. And then return to all fours, tabletop, and shake out the hips like you're wagging your tail. Other side, so left foot forward. Again, feel free to grab hold and place it. Coming into a lunge from tabletop, there's not a lot of space to move the leg forward. If you need, wiggle the right leg back so it's long. Starting here, hands on either side of the foot. Sink the hips, lift the chest, and look straight ahead. And walking the hands just above the knee. Gently pressing there to help bring the shoulders onto the back. Lift the chest and sinking the hips forward and down. Let your breath stay steady. For the lizard pose, hands come inside of the foot, and you can inch the left foot to the left. So again, the hands are directly under the shoulders. Drawing the heart forward, looking ahead just a few inches so the neck is nice and long. Press into the left big toe, hug the knee into the shoulder. Left hip drawing back, right hip pointing forward. Nice and full breaths. One more breath. And return to tabletop. Shake out your hips. And then we'll do another downward facing dog. Separate the fingers, press into the palms. Tuck the toes under and come up. You may feel a little warmer for this one. Again, pressing the hands down and forward, chest moving towards the thighs. Stretch long from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. And then stretch long down the backs of the legs as well. That doesn't mean that the heels have to touch the floor, because they do not.
But wherever the heels are, thinking of them sinking down heavy, so you get that nice length in the backs of the legs. And then come on down for child's pose. Up, sit on the bottom, extend the legs forward, seated back stretch. Of course, you can bend your knees here. The main focus is on the back being long. When the abdomen and the thighs are together, then you know you don't have rounding in the low back. When there's space, there's likely rounding happening. So that's why bending the knees is great in this pose. We'll reach up and fold. Pull with the arms so the spine is long, extending. If you are able, you can always walk the feet further, just being sure to keep the connection between the upper and lower half. You may breathe up and down the length of the spine. Come up slowly. Take the legs out wide. Point the knees and the toes towards the ceiling. Sitting up tall, you can take the hands around beside you to help encourage length through the spine. Now, like you were tipping the pelvis forward, begin to fold. So when you fold from that tilt of the pelvis, it allows the spine to remain long, like you're leading with your sternum as you fold. Just walk the hands forward to your degree. More flexible, the forearms may come down, but never any need to force anything. Spine long, breathing. Come up through the center. Fold the right foot inside of the left thigh. If your legs were really wide, you might adjust that foot in a little bit, but it can still be at an angle. You're gonna reach up tall, turn to the left, so when you fold, your heart center comes over that thigh. Bend the knee as you need, and reach the top of the head towards the foot. Up through the center,
left foot inside the right thigh. Reach up tall, turn towards the right so you can fold the chest directly over the thigh. Come up to center. Take the legs out wide once again. Just repeating what we did before, sitting up tall. And then beginning to walk forward, leading with the sternum. Again, just to your own degree. Keeping the toes pointed up. Walking your way up, bend the knees, place the soles of the feet together, keeping the heels forward. This pose is called Tarasana, or the star pose. Find Kali Mudra with your hands. So this will be the top point of your star, bringing it over the toes. Fold forward. Elbows come with you as you fold. Using your hands to walk your way up. Pull the heels in closer now for Baddha Konasana. Sit up nice and tall. Pressing into the soles of the feet, letting the knees open out. And then that slight tilt of the pelvis once again, letting the spine come forward. Just walking the hands to your degree. We've basically taken this shape a few different ways today, so hopefully you feel nice and warmed for this pose. And coming up, bringing the knees together. Give yourself a nice squeeze. Wrap the forearms around the shins, chest to the thighs, tuck the chin, squeezing. Release and come down onto your back. Coming to the reclining pigeon. So feet to the floor. Cross your right ankle to your left knee and flex that foot. Starting out right here. Open the right knee away from your chest. So it's moving away from you. And you likely begin to feel some things happening right here. Next, bring the legs towards you. Interlace the fingers behind the left thigh. Take the right hand between the two legs. And now
pull the left leg in towards your chest while you keep opening the right knee away. Remember, the right foot is flexed, safer for the knee joint that way. After every breath or two, you might draw the left leg in a little closer. In addition to stretching the hip, this is a great way to stretch the glutes and the piriformis, which is the muscle that runs deep within the seat. Now return the left foot to the floor. Keep the leg crossed over and lower the legs down to the left. That right foot may touch the floor, it may not. It's not important. You can extend the arms out from the sides and turn to look over the right shoulder. If you'd like a little deeper variation of this, let the right knee cross the left knee, like you're in eagle pose, eagle legs, and that deepens the sensation along the outside of the right hip and thigh. Again, that IT region. Gently return the knees to center, unwind. Then coming to the pigeon on the other side, left foot comes across, flex the foot, and we'll start out right here, letting the knee open away from the chest. Bring the legs in towards you. Interlace fingers behind the right thigh. Pulling the right thigh in, opening the left knee out. Again, after every breath or two, if it's available, you can draw the right knee in a little tighter. Lower the right foot down. Send the arms away from the sides and lower both legs to the right. You can stay here or take the variation by sliding the knee over the top knee over the bottom knee, like you are coming into eagle legs. center. Unwind. If there's any final movements your body needs, go ahead and take it here. And then find your way to Shavasana. We'll be here for a few minutes, so make yourself comfortable.
You can use any props you like, something under the knees, under the head, or we're getting into the chilly months. You may cover with a blanket. Let the weight of the body sink down heavy with relaxation. Relax everything now, completely. Begin to feel the breath once again. Begin to feel the physical body, fingers and toes, wrists, ankles, and all the rest. Send both arms overhead into a full body stretch. Bend the knees, turn to one side, and stay there for a moment of transition. Press your way up to a comfortable seat, keeping the eyes closed. Join the hands together at heart center, and we'll share the mantra Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Breathe in. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace. Have a peaceful day and week. Thank you for your practice. Namaste.